Sports presents.
Sizzle, what's up, baby? How you feeling?
What's going on, Jay? I am in the line waiting for the hottest cocoa ever and getting ready to get this show up and jumping, baby. I'm ready to do the thing.
Now, do you have your little mistletoe? You got your little mistletoe sticking out from the top of your hat, like everywhere you go, the lady just gotta give you a kiss.
Oh, everywhere I go, you know what it is. You know what you got to do. You got to come and give me this kiss, sugar.
Wow. You know they have laws about that in certain states. You know that, right?
They do?
Yeah.
No. Okay, then it must be the sugar state because that's what you get, baby. But you know what it is. You know who it is.
Yeah.
It's the Sizzle here on Iron Skillet Radio, Iron Skillet Television. We are the talk of the 219. We are giving you the get down and what should be getting down with the get down. You understand what I'm saying? Because somebody got down.
So
Somebody got jobbed.
Sizzle,
Yes,
so what was the magical order that you gave the young barista there?
I told her I wanted the candy sprinkle hot chocolate latte with an orange, just a little orange dab.
So hold on now. So you got the hot chocolate with the candy coated sprinkles.
Yes.
And then with that, you got an orange dab of what?
It's just the orange peel. I just dab it on there, just like That's all I wanted to do. It's just
wow. That's some fancy cocoa you got going on right there.
Yeah. It's fancy. In fact, I'm getting ready to get it now because it's so fancy.
Let's talk to the young lady when you pull up there. Let her know she's on the Sizzle.
I'm not going to talk to the young lady. I'm not going to talk to her.
Hello, young lady.
She doesn't want to talk. She's in a production.
Hello, young lady. We're on the radio right now. Hi, how are you? We're on the radio right now. That guy right there is actually he's actually sort of popular. What do you think about the drink he ordered? Should a man that size be getting that type of drink with the orange peel in it?
The young lady is in the. Listen, you're not going to bring her into our production. You're not going to do it.
Put the young lady on. How you doing?
I'm not going to put her on. She can hear you.
Can't she?
She just said hi.
Oh, hey, how are you? Hey, look, I'm his radio partner, and he's in line right now. We're on the air right now, and he's out on remote, as you can see, riding around.
Yes,
and he's getting the candy sprinkles, and that's a wonderful thing.
She is right here. She's looking. You see the cup is right.
Oh,
here
look at that! Oh, fancy cup and everything with the little sleeve on it.
Thank you, dear. You also.
Happy Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and everything else to you. Thank you for being part of the show.
All right. So now that's happened,
yeah.
That was really cool. That was really cool.
Yeah, we got to make him all part of the show.
Yeah, that was almost as cool as everybody not being a part of the show for the Bulls.
Well, I thought they had a better effort last night.
Well, they did have a better effort.
They were setting picks mightily as a certain announcer, Stacey King, was saying. Look at them set those picks. Look at them set those picks. You know it's bad when your team, when you got to start being happy that they're actually out there setting picks.
You know what's sad is it was a great opportunity for the Bulls. You had Wendell Carter really coming in, giving you his first season double-double, his first 3 of the season, and you just had some bad officiating in the end that maybe should never have come to the bad officiating.
What?
They should have been able to push the lead out, open that up a little bit, and you wouldn't have had that problem. But as it looks, your Chicago Bulls, my Chicago Bulls, are 0-3.
You know what, though? They made that big push, though, when the score was tied at 100. I think they went on a 10-2 run or 10-4 or something like that, and it looked like they were getting ready to salt that game away. It just looked like the Warriors became the Warriors all of a sudden, some with that jersey, and guys start coming up with rebounds. Looney just started attacking the basketball. They just wanted those rebounds more, and they just got closed down. It looked like a championship team playing against a team that wasn't used to be in a position to win.
Well, they were not in the position to win because they lost, and their head coach says they suck.
Wow. Is that what he said?
Billy Donovan has pretty much said this team sucks.
Billy Donovan did not come to the podium and say this team sucks.
Oh, he might as well have said it. He might as well have said it. Everybody else came to the podium saying something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Zach LaVine was at the podium looking like a lost member from the Run DMC Christmas Story.
Didn't he have like 33 points or something? Zach LaVine had a good game. Didn't he?
He had a really good game. 33 points. He was doing his thing.
Yeah, I thought he played well.
He didn't do his thing well enough to seal a victory.
He hit the game winner. He hit the game, and he guarded Curry pretty well. Though Curry didn't get that shot up. And you had Lee, a guy who probably is never going to hit that shot ever again. But he was 4 from 5 from 3 anyway. But he was not the guy you wanted taking that shot. But he bombs away
because he's taken that shot before in Orlando in the summer league games.
No, well, who doesn't take those shots?
Yeah, he won a couple summer league games. But when you're Steph Curry's brother-in-law, you can do whatever pretty much you want.
So you're saying the Curry magic has rubbed off on him?
I'm saying he's been curried in that house.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
He's been curry-matized. Yeah.
Is that a new Sizzle word? Curry-matized?
I guess so. Now, after watching that Bulls game, we've been curry-matized.
Well, were you not entertained by the Bulls, though? The Bulls came out, even though this was a team, Curry, there's no Klay Thompson, no Draymond Green. You had, Andrew Wiggins playing well, but not great. And you had a couple other guys on the team. I didn't even know they were on the Warriors. And the Bulls looked like they had that game at hand. I really thought they were going to go ahead and walk away from the Warriors and win that game going away by 10.
Well, let me ask you this quickly, just to reverse it. Would you be proud of two bottom feeder teams that were going up against each other and you thought to yourself, wow, both of these teams really suck? Like, I didn't know how bad Golden State sucked because it was hard to tell in that Brooklyn game. I wasn't sure. I was like,
you didn't know from that? I mean, Curry has no help.
Yeah, they suck.
And then he was off. And then he was off, and he still scored 35 or 36, and he was having an off night.
Yeah, 36 and an off night. But the sad part is you got Kelly Oubre out there who is hot garbage. Andrew Wiggins is even hotter garbage. And the only good thing you got going for you right now is your number 2 pick in Wiseman, who looks like he's going to be the truth. He looks like a supersized Whiteside. That's what he looks like.
Yeah, he can move. He's got good feet, man. He can move. He's quick around the basketball I thought he was going to be. And it looks like once he figures out exactly what to do in the NBA, he's going to be real dominant. He needs to get what like Akeem Olajuwon or somebody in the next year or two, get the dream shape working. Give him a little fade, give him a little 12-foot fade away, something you can put off. Just something like that that's unstoppable around the basket. That guy's going to be a handful. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I'm going to use a Stacey Kingism. KYP, Young Bulls, know your personnel when you're out there. Wiseman will shoot a 3.
Yeah, he will bomb away on you.
3. So if you leave him out there unchecked, he will check you. So, I'm happy that the Bulls were able to pull it together, actually look like a real NBA team.
So what these other 2 games had? What were they doing? I mean, this is a weird start to the NBA this year. I mean, you're seeing these teams just getting nuclear bombed out here by 40. The Clippers, good Lord, what was that? I mean, they were just getting mollywopped like they were the generals and going up against the
literally mollywopped. Literally.
Yeah, they were getting mollywopped.
He got sucker punched. He was mollywopped on that floor.
Yeah, they looked like they were just getting, I don't know what that was. I mean, they had, I think, was it 27 points by the half or something like that? I mean, just, I've never seen that in an NBA game before. And then you had James Harden, who just came off, right out the strip club. With a chicken wing in his hand. He came out there and just laid it on him right quick. Like, nobody can stop me while he was eating a chicken wing.
And he just looks like Tubby James. He just looks like a really strong super teddy bear out there shooting shots.
The problem is now he's even worse. I heard some guys talking about that today, that, even with this extra weight, he's still quick as he is. And now he's carrying extra weight to the basket. It's even harder to stop now.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
right? Again, it's like trying to stop a really strong teddy bear that is just going to keep barreling towards you. This is the oddest. I never thought preseason was going to matter, but it does matter. And obviously, even today, you hear of just how this whole season is. Dallas looks great one game, they look terrible the next.
Yeah.
The Lakers look unstoppable the next one game, and then half their rosters out the next. You don't know what's getting ready to go on. I have no idea. But what I do know is this. And maybe you can tell me if I'm just drinking too much of the Kool-Aid, which I do have the Kool-Aid right here.
You do.
And I did just take a swig. I'm over the Coby White point guard experience. I'm over that ride.
It's not doing it for you. It's not doing it for you.
By game 4, I want to see it no more. That's my new mantra. Yeah,
you're tired of seeing him dribble the ball off the shoes. You tired of that?
And you can't be mad with someone who had a stat line like 26 and 5. I'm just tired of seeing him as
bombs away. He's a 2 guard. He's not a point guard. He's a 2 guard. He's bombs away. That 3-pointer, he's letting it fly. He's gonna let it fly. I'm glad for him. That's how he's gonna stay in the league. Because he's definitely not gonna stay in the league playing point.
I don't know now. We had the conversation, can Lauri and can Zach coexist? Are they going to be able to do some things? And now you see Zach working a good 2-man game now with Wendell. But the bigger question is, can Coby and Zach exist? Because ultimately, they're the same player. They are 2 guards. And they are shoot-first 2 guards. And when they get hot, they're ridiculously hot. And then they can't defend nobody. And at least, I think Coby tries. Where for years, Zach didn't even try to defend anyone. But right now, how do you utilize 2 shooting guards that have no defensive skills at all?
Well, you know what? No, now you say, as I'm thinking about this, is at least a thing I would do. I go find me a legit point, move Coby to the 2, and move Zach to the 3. I go 3 guards basically. Yeah. I go 3 guards with Wendell Carter out there and Mr. Williams. That's what I would do.
Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, let's solve this problem because it's a definite problem.
Yeah,
you've got Pat Williams out there. We call him Mr. Williams now because that young man is
he's a grown man. He's a grown man.
That's a grown man.
Yeah,
he's a grown man at the 3. Now you could put him at the 4, but he looks like his strength is going to be the 3. You've got Wendell Carter and you got Lauri Markkanen.
Right.
Now, this season, Billy Donovan has really experimented with putting Lauri at the 5, using him to use his strengths against 5s in the league. But, so, let's look at this. You got Lauri, Wendell, Pat. So, between Coby and Zach, somebody's got to go if you need a real point guard out there. Because you're probably your best point guard, and to your point, as you said earlier before the season started, your best point guard on the Bulls right now is Thomas Satoransky.
Yeah, he is, without doubt.
And if Thomas Satoransky is leading your team as your point guard, you're going to lose. It's failure, sir. It is disastrous. It's horrific. It's terrific. It's terrible and horrific.
The biggest problem with the Bulls is that they stayed pat. And they really did not move anybody. And they went out here and they stashed away that second pick. Maybe there's some magical move that's going to happen in 2 years that we don't have a crystal ball out for. But they stayed pat. And I don't really – it seems to me like they're not really trying to win this year. What they're running out. I think they just got it was an embarrassment those first 2 games that they were just coached so poorly. And I hate to say that about a Billy Donovan team. That lands square on him but he did not have them ready for that first game, and he needs to take responsibility for that. Now, they came out and played better in the third game, but like you said, this was a team that the Bulls should have beaten if Steph Curry didn't go for 50. This is the team they should have beaten, and Steph Curry got hot in the second half. I think he got 26 points in the second half, and he helped close them down, and basically they rammed them down and caught them at the wire. Basically, that's what they happened. It's like one of those 440 440 races. The guy gets out in front, right. and then the real fast kid just starts chasing him down. Who's that white kid that runs like that?
I know who you're talking about. Good.
Bolden. I think his name is Bolden or something like that. Mm-hmm. I think he's running for Georgia right now. He caught that kid one time, I think, in the 4x40 relay for the state championship. I want to say this kid had about a 70-yard start on him, about 70 or 60-yard start on him, and he ran that kid down. And I think the kid ran a 47-40, and he ended up running a 44-2 or something like that. Something crazy. I mean, the guy ran a 40. The guy ran a 47 and still got hawked down. I mean, so that's what it sort of looked like with the you just saw a team in the Warriors who know how to close. And a guy who just wasn't going to go down without a fight. And his other teammates believed in him, and that was a believe shot and believe comeback. But I thought the Bulls played better. They looked like an NBA basketball team. The problem is, though, what happened on those first two games? Why weren't they ready to play? And that's my biggest problem with the Bulls right now. So now you got guys who are not mentally tough, ready to go. So we're going to see this up and down again, I think. So that's a big problem for me right now. I don't know if the Bulls are going to even play well enough to sneak themselves into a playoff position in the East, which they could easily do. But I don't know. I'm a little concerned about this team right now.
Playoffs?
Hey,
did you just say playoffs?
The East is open.
Yeah, it's open to anybody except the Chicago Bulls right now. The East is definitely closed for the Bulls. The East is like COVID-20 for the Bulls right now. It is closed pending face masks for everything they do. It is horrifically bad what's going on right now. And there is no way to justify it or work around what you see. But let's look at some of the good things.
Okay.
One of the good things is, according to the last 2 minutes, a report says out now that the refs missed 2 key calls, right before Damion Lee's three-pointer.
Break him down, G. Still, let's talk about him.
I'm just, at this point, the Warriors, okay, they should have been called for a 5-second violation.
On the inbound? On the inbound, yeah, they did run it along, yeah.
So with 5 seconds left, Kevin Looney committed an offensive foul, setting a screen on Coby White that was uncalled. Now, these are things that are uncalled. It was the first uncalled, and then there were some other things that moved in the course of it. But I mean, it's all perfunctory. It may make you feel better at the moment, but the last thing that you need to know is that it's still a loss. And you have to deal with the fact, to your point, Jay, and everybody has to take this one on the chin. This isn't just a Zach thing. This isn't a Lauri thing. This is a Coach Donovan, the assistant coaches, Mark Eversley, and Arturas Karnisovas. This is everybody who put this hot garbage back on the court. This is that. And to your point, let me say this. I am actively working right now, Jay Sizzle, to get off of I'm trying to get off of the Denzel train.
Oh no, you can't leave the Denzel train.
I didn't think I could.
On that midnight train without Denzel leaving. Is that what you're doing?
Well, okay. I'm just saying, even Coach Donovan has criticized what's been going on with Denzel. I mean, you've got now, you've got a situation now where, you can shoot, but what else can you do when your defensive effort is not there? And obviously, if Coach Donovan wants a defensive team, he wants guys, dogs who can go out there and defend. They're gonna run out there. It's funny. It seems like, and maybe I'm wrong, Jay. It seems like the Bulls are getting the same type of coach that they said they didn't want before. It's just in a new package.
But
this is that same Scott Skiles thing. This is that Tom Thibodeau thing.
oh no,
now
hey,
it's the Billy Donovan thing.
hey, I'm telling you right now, Scott Skiles and Tom Thibodeau, those teams would have not got run out the gym by 40.
Oh God, no. They would not have. No, I think Billy is playing it cool and letting you see how much they suck. I really think he's setting them up so you can be like, oh, well, Billy, he's like, hey, these are my players. I didn't ask for none of them. The only person that is my player at this point is Mr. Williams, because everybody else, they were just here. They're here. I don't know why they're here, but they're here. And I don't want them. And to what your point was before, Jay, I think this Zach LaVine experiment, I think it's headed to a screeching halt. So.
Well, the biggest problem they already knew they had the problem was they left Coby White at point guard. That was the biggest problem. He's not a point guard, and you did not fix that problem. So since you didn't fix that problem, you put Zach LaVine scored 33 points and the potential game winner. I don't really have a big problem with Zach LaVine. We never said he was the greatest defender out there, and nobody on this Bulls team is Zach really that great a defender. I couldn't say anybody on here like, wow, that guy's a lockdown defender, because we don't have one. They're slow of foot. You saw Coby White get worked out. I mean, every time you looked up, there was a guard penetrating off Coby White, and they either beating him with the double screens up on top, and they're chasing the behind the guy with the ball coming in off that screen, or he's just basically getting beat on a drive to the basket.
Yeah, I mean, he was always on somebody's hip pocket. He was just, they were walled off and screened off. In the great words of the immortal Phil Jackson, it was just Brokeback Mountain defense. That's all it was.
Yeah, and
it was bad.
And you never saw him just lock down and cut somebody off. I mean, just turn him back. You never saw him be able to do that. And I don't think he's that guy. I don't think he's capable of doing that. I think he's a fast guy who's developed his jumper that's going to keep him in the league for a while. He's not a point guard, so he's going to play a small two somewhere. But we looked at these picks. Now we're talking about Mr. Williams. We call him Mr. Williams, but I have not seen him explode yet. I haven't seen him. He hasn't brought me out my chair yet. He hasn't gone. I go, oh, there it is. You know what I'm saying? He hadn't hit me with one of those yet. So I don't know.
He had a missed dunk. He had one that you thought, woo, if he had connected on that, that would have been it. But I don't take anything from the young man. He's a young man, and I think he's trying to find his way to fit in with what's going on with the Bulls right now. But we saw the Zach LaVine point guard experience last year, 2 years ago. It's terrible. He's not a good ball handler. It's terrible. It's horrible. He can bring the ball up the court, but he's not a distributor. He's not the guy you want with that ball in your hand. So ultimately, the guy on this roster, outside of the undrafted rookie, is Thomas Satoransky or Garrett Temple. One of the two of them is your point guard.
And it's weird that they stayed pat. They really didn't make any moves this offseason to really get better at that position. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what they thought, to tell you the honest truth.
Well, I think let's look at it. Let's talk about this before we get ready to get out the door. Let's think about this. The Bulls are so poorly constructed, and this goes before this current administration. Yes, at the 7th pick, you get a Coby White because he might help you. But he's really not what you're looking for. And it really makes me think the Brain Trust didn't know what they were looking at and didn't know what to pick up anymore. You've got Wendell Carter, who probably should have been a later round draft pick. You've got Coby White that probably should have been a later round draft pick. They are players that would be good as supplemental pieces on a good team. You could take a Wendell Carter and put him on the Lakers or the Clippers. You can put him on an established team and he has a role. Now, there were other players. At some point, there had to be a shift in the Bulls' thinking and ideology because you had the Jimmy Butlers, you had the Bobby Portis. And for whatever anybody wants to say about Bobby Portis, old Crazy Eyes knows what he's doing when it comes to defending that rim. There were other players, again, Jimmy Butler, who knew what he was doing, had the chops, and was a bona fide player. But now I'm looking at the Bulls and I'm looking at their picks. You still have a roster full of 2-year turnovers. You've got the Satoranskis. You've got all these D-League players there. I mean, you still got, oh my God, you got Ryan Arcidiacono. And he can't get aerodynamically and dynamically correct because of his poor man bun. You can't just be out there.
The poor man bun.
Yeah, it's just bad, and it's moving him in directions he shouldn't go. But you got a whole team full of guys, that don't fit together. If you were going to make, and I have become a disciple that believes in what you said before, Jay, is if you're going to get young guys and they're going to play, somewhat the question and the discussion we've had about Mitch Trubisky. So instead of wasting time trying to get Mitch up to speed, Mitch should have started the season, and you go from there and you work them through. And if they work, great. If they don't, great. If you drafted Coby White to be a point guard,
wow,
you thought he was going to be this new age point guard, he should have played last year at point guard.
Let's talk about some people they passed by on that draft. One that is really, really. They might have passed by a person who might be one of the better players in the NBA 10 years from now. They passed by Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero went to the Heat, number 13 overall in that draft. Then you had Romeo Langford go 14th. Name sound familiar? Mm-hmm. So you had a number of guys right there who possibly, at least two, right there that would look pretty good. Let's see. Was there a Kevin Porter Jr. in the draft?
Let me tell you something.
Well,
there was also a homeboy in the draft. There was somebody from the region in the draft who had region roots. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, I like the song. I need a hero. I need a hero.
Tyler Hero, man. I nasty,
need a sandwich
sick with
you
it.
can make it taste all great.
Tyler Hero, sick with it. I like that guy. I like
Tyler Hero.
Yeah, I liked him the first time I saw YouTube.
Yeah.
First time I saw him on YouTube, I said, "Oh," and that's the guy. And then they didn't go get that guy.
So again, now you're talking about brain trust. Yeah. I mean, you got guys who are there now, who are just sitting there holding a clipboard for no reason. You gave money to a Cristiano Felicio. I'm not.
What does that guy do? What does that guy do to stay in the league? To stay on the Bulls?
He has held somebody's family member hostage for years.
Because he literally plays 3 minutes every third game.
Mm-hmm.
And they put him in. It's like, oh my God, here comes the Benny Hinn music. It goes out there, and then sits back down on the bench.
Well, it's the same thing now with Denzel. The question is, you knew what Denzel was coming out of Michigan State.
I don't know, man. I think they thought Denzel was going to be that dude, that they were going to line Denzel up, and he was going to be their who's that Green that plays for the
Danny
Lakers?
Green?
Yeah, I think they thought he was going to be Danny Green.
No.
I really believe they thought he was going to be Danny Green, was going to come out there, just let it fly from three, play decent defense, but a guy you can go and count on, to make some shots. And no. he can't get inserted in the ball game.
Well, I mean, okay. All right. Okay. So, obviously, if you made that pick and you thought that there's something wrong with you.
Wow.
There's something really wrong with you. There's something wrong with you that Luke Cornett is still on this team. Luke Cornett got a
Wow.
contract
I know,
because he
right?
balled out as a Knick against you and put up historical numbers. You still got Thaddeus Young, who could be a serviceable forward center for somebody. He's still there. You're now playing Adam Momomuko Mokomoko. Adam Mokoko
Be careful when you say that, sir.
Okay. Mokoko. Mukukuku. Mokukuku. Mokoko. Adam Mokoko. He loves the cocoa. Adam Mokoko.
He loves the cocoa.
He loves the cocoa. He's on your
cocoa.
team. I'm just saying, I'm looking at the roster and the makeup, and you got Otto Porter just sitting there for no God knows reason.
Let's see.
So, okay. The only person I like on this bench is Chandler Hutchins.
So we got
he can stay healthy.
Cristiano's making $7 million this year.
Yeah.
Wendell Carter's got $5 million coming toward him. Luke Cornett, $2 million. Daniel Gafford, they're just clowning Daniel Gafford, only $1.5 million. That's terrible. How you gonna be an NBA player on $1 million? Lauri Markkanen's only making $6 million. Yeah. Otto Porter Jr. is getting paid. That's why he has his own burger bar. $28 million they're paying Otto Porter Jr. to come off the bench.
He has a Otto Porter burger bar. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet hamburger bar in his living room.
That Young is making $13 million.
That Young is stealing.
And Denzel Valentine, $4.5 million he's making.
Denzel Valentine is a jewel robber, heister, a thief. He is the new Pink Panther.
Because he's still getting paid in the league.
I'm just saying, Jay, when you look at what the Bulls have to offer, it's not a lot. And at this point, now that because you're going to get to game 10. And as you said, last time we talked about the Bulls, the problem is they're going to get to game 10 and you're going to be so far buried because there's a possibility these Bulls by game 10 can maybe be 2-8, maybe 1-9 by game 10. You're going to be so far away from even being in competition mode that nothing you have is going to have any value or worth.
So
right now, you have nothing of value or worth on your team.
So the problem is you got a bunch of guys who don't know what they're doing. What's what it seems like to me. You still got Wendell Carter who still doesn't look like he knows what he's doing on defense. Mm-hmm. He doesn't know where he's supposed to be. You look at Coby White, who still ain't figured out how to play the pick and roll. He still ain't figured that out yet. And he's going to continue to get worked out. They're going to pick and roll the heck out of Bulls from here on out because they know he can't play it. You got Lauri Markkanen is not sure what he's doing. Look at those first offensive sets, those first two games, right? How do you not know where to go offensively? You don't know where to go, and you didn't know where to go playing defense. I thought all they do is play basketball. Aren't these professionals? How do you not know where to go? I mean, I don't understand how you don't know where to go. Yeah, I don't understand that.
Hard cut and back door. If I don't know anything else, I'm a back door and hard cut. How about that? I'm going to the basket. Going to the rim.
Well, I think what the real problem is, all these one and dones, these Coby Whites, these early coming in the league, these Zach LaViners, all these guys coming in, they don't get the top level coaching in college because they're not there long enough. You get a lot of these kids are really locked into the teams other than their high school teams, and those teams are all about offense. All those summer league basketball, that's travel basketball. It's nothing but offense. It's just complete offense. They don't play defense. You got guys who won't play on certain teams if they ask them to play defense too much. They just won't play. So they just learn how to break people down and do all the fancy dribbling because that's what gets you paid. But ultimately, they can't lock down and play defense. And this is going to be a hard fix for Billy Donovan. This is not something that's going to be easy. He's already showed you because the Bulls were setting records for futility. Futility, setting records. And they let a Golden State team that was horribly depleted come back on the back end and hit them on a game winner. Yeah, the refs should have called this and the refs could have called this. But had they got on the boards when they had opportunity, that play wouldn't even matter. That play would have never existed. But you saw Kevin Looney, you saw the Golden State Warriors 3 or 4 times getting up off the floor and the Bulls players being boxed out, standing around watching those guys get on the offensive glass. Had these guys boxed out, got in there in the correct position, correct defensive position, Wendell Carter Jr., had they got in the right place and got that board, we wouldn't have been in this situation. So it's just a lot of kids, young kids, not coming here ready to play. You got Otto Porter Jr., not Otto Porter Jr., go let home, geez, that was a hope. You got Otto Porter, yeah. You got Sadaratsky, you got those guys making the big money, and it's like, hey, I'm just happy to get this paycheck. I'll sit 6th, 7th, 8th man deep. I ain't got to start. I'm making $28 million. You want to see me on the bench making $28 million? Okay. I'm good with it. Thank you for signing me. So, how are you going to fix it? How are you going to get these young guys? How are you going to get these young guys to figure out how to play defense?
Well, I think you get it done by starting Sadaransky, Temple, Zach LaVine, coming back with Thaddeus Young, and somebody else, and that's your starting 5. Because all of the young people, except Mr. Williams, suck. They suck. They're horrible. But, Jay, one thing before we get out of here.
Yes, sir.
I just heard what you said, and it makes sense. How do you explain Pat Williams? How do you explain a young man who wasn't big on the AAU circuit, wasn't one of those guys that was out really putting in work? How do you explain finding a diamond in the rough like Pat Williams?
But he wasn't a diamond in the rough, though. People knew about him. This is a guy that didn't even start for FSU, but people knew about him. So what does that tell you? That he got coached extremely well. That if he still played top minutes for FSU, he just didn't start. But you saw all around the NBA, he wasn't like somebody. I didn't know about him because I didn't care because I didn't think the Bulls were going to pick him. But he was creeping up from 15 going on up. So here's a guy who was coming off the bench, and people knew who he was, and he just turned 19 in August. So as an 18-year-old, 17-year-old, the NBA knew he was coming. The whole thing about it is that here's a guy that was coached well or can take coaching well, because apparently he knows where to go. He's scoring points in the offense. You don't see him getting broke down on defense too often, not getting worked out. I mean, Coby White gets worked out. I mean, they hit him with the whip whop and the whoop wham, and he's up out of there. So you're looking at guys.
Wait, wasn't that the problem he was having at UNC?
Yeah, but see, athleticism takes over. See, when you're a great athlete in college, there's only a few other great athletes like you. When you get to the NBA, everybody's a great athlete. Everybody, you got people quicker than you. All of a sudden, Coby White just saw that little light-skinned guy with the little funny hairdo with the number 30 on him. He just saw how quick he is. He was like, wow, I didn't know that guy was that quick. He had never played against him. When you see a guy like that, and I don't know if he played him last year, but I'm talking about in this position, when you have that number 30 coming at you, the little light-skinned guy who you're taller than, and all of a sudden he's hitting you with the stutter and he's hitting you with the rocket in and out. Next thing you know, your ankles is tight, locked up, and he's going past you. Oh, I didn't know that was going to happen right here on the television screen too, on the big TV. That guy, there's a reason why that guy won MVP. There's a reason why that guy's one of the top scorers all time, right? Because now you run up against guys like this every night. And that's what you're seeing right now. These guys aren't used to playing against guys like this every night. They're used to being the big dog. And all of a sudden now, all the other dogs big as you, quicker than you. Now what you going to do? This is the reason why I'm always amazed by the Patrick Beverleys of the world. You know, guys like that who just hard hustle and muscle. You know, he ain't quicker than nobody. He ain't stronger than nobody, but he gets in there and just fights for every inch. You know what I'm saying? You can see Patrick Beverley playing cornerback in the NFL. because he's going to fight you. That's all he had. All he had was a fight. And that's what the Bulls lack right now is a fight. Where's the fight in them? Where is the fight? I mean, they play better. They play better against a depleted Warriors team, right? But what are they going to do? What are they going to do against a team that got everybody's there? And you still don't know how to play defense yet. You don't still know where you are, where you're supposed to be. Do I come up and stop the pick and roll, or do I stay back? I'm not sure what I'm doing. I don't know. And then when you give guys millions of dollars, young guys, I mean, think about it. If we were, you gave me millions of dollars and I'm 21, 22 years old, 23. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what? We're going to wrap this up and put a bow on it. We're going to wrap it up and say this. I think the Bulls have a player in Pat Williams. I think they have a player in Daniel Gafford. I think they have a player in Chandler Hutchinson. And I think they have a player in Zach LaVine and Lauri Markkanen. After that, it's up for grabs. I'm not saying that Thomas Satoransky isn't a good player. It might be the best option at your point guard position. It might help to turn this thing around. I'm just saying, your young people, your Wendell Carters, your Denzel Valentines, your Coby Whites, they're not just young. They're low basketball IQ players.
Yeah, they're inexperienced. They're inexperienced. That's the whole thing about it. They're inexperienced basketball players. And I think that's what you're seeing right now. You're seeing guys who don't have – this is the reason why you see – I'm not sure what LaMelo did this last – I haven't watched and saw what he did recently. But you see him when he's running the break because he's been playing with pros since he's 15. Mm-hmm. So he has that experience playing against grown men. He's always played against people that were bigger than him. All of a sudden, now he's a 6'8" point guard. And I'm not sure what LaMelo did, but this is what experience does for you.
Yeah, he got his first NBA bucket his last game. But as you said, he's been able to come in and solidify that point guard position, actually helping Gordon Hayward to have a good transitional season now, being with the Hornets coming from Boston. But you see, and to your point, you see what he can do. He's taking minutes from Devontae Graham. He's taking minutes from Terry Rozier. Yeah. He's there now that you got Ball on that squad.
Right.
I mean, maybe the best pick, I don't know if of all time for Michael Jordan, but probably if he's able to facilitate and keep growing as a young player, he might end up being one of the best Charlotte Hornet players of all time.
He could be, because he has that upside and he has that experience. I just think you're looking at these young guys. I mean, if you project these Bulls going forward 2 or 3 years from now when they have real NBA experience, possibly the Bulls play a lot better. But I don't know what you're going to do about guys' foot speed, about guys wanting to play defense, about not getting 40 ball. They're somebody should have got fouled. Somebody should have went down for a couple of technical fouls. Somebody should have been ejected. There should have been a fight out there. You just gonna keep shooting threes on us and we down 40? Oh, so you just gonna keep shooting them? Oh, okay. All right. I'm coming on a tomahawk next time. Go up and shoot another three. See what happens to you. I'm coming out there like flying tiger, hitting dragon.
Oh no! That's like that movie I was watching. It was called Crouching Foot, Hidden Toe.
That happens.
Yes.
Did you ever see that Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon movie? Was that the most ridiculous thing you ever saw?
Most ridiculous.
It was the most ridiculous thing I ever saw. Most ridiculous.
Just most ridiculous.
I mean, first thing, it was in subtitles. And I'm like, okay, I'm not paying my $11 to go see subtitles, which I did go pay to go see the movie. And then it was just ridiculous. It was so ridiculous because they tried to make the 1970s version of when the guys used to jump off the roofs and stuff like that and, jump like 2 stories in the air and all that type of stuff. But it was just so ridiculous. And they jumped too far. They were like superheroes. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? At least those guys jumping in the back in the 70s, You're like, well, we got a good running start. He might be able to jump that far.
Well, that's how I kind of feel about the Bulls right now.
Yeah.
Like, maybe if you get maybe one good player, they'll work. But I don't know, Jay. All I'm going to say is, I believe that Patrick Williams will be in the running. This is my hot take. I
Yeah.
believe he will be one of the top 3 finalists for Rookie of the Year.
Wow. Okay. That's a big reach.
It
That's a
is.
big
It
reach. I
is
mean, I mean, I'm
because
hoping,
I believe he's going to be a starter for the rest of the year.
I'm hoping they give him the ball enough so he can score enough. Because I don't know if he's that guy who's just going to take the ball to take people off the dribble, outside of the offense. And say, hey, I'm going 1-on-1. I'm going to take this to the basket. I don't know if he's that makeup. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Well, we'll see. We'll see as he moves forward, and we'll see as this Bulls team progresses, and we'll probably see Billy Donovan with a lot more gray hair.